24/7 Fusion Media.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy, 24/7 here with 24/7 Fusion Media. And when I first saw the title of this article, which reads, X-Men 97 writer Beau DeMayo shares a pitch for a Wesley Snipes Blade film. I mean, Beau DeMayo, the last time I've heard that name was when he got fired from the X-Men 97 for God knows what, but the thing that was uncovered was he had his own OnlyFans account, and you know, he's shooting off a lot of dick pics and showing his naked ass and, you know, all that other fun stuff. And I was like, wow. And this is the guy that's writing X-Men 97. Good for you, Disney. You know what I'm saying? I don't even fucking know. But I saw this and I was like, you know what? Let's see what he's talking about here. Now, my whole problem with everybody trying to basically give Blade a send-off movie is, why do you want to send him off to begin with? Let's say if this does happen, who is he supposed to get replaced with? The next Blade? There's only one Blade. Were you going to throw his daughter in there for a replacement? Well, that's the problem that Mahershala Ali was facing with his own script. And the thing is, once you do write him off, there's no way to replace him. Because who else is going to come in and do what Wesley Snipes does? No one. Not even Mahershala Ali. So, all that old, you know, let's Loganize his ass and give him a swan song and ride him off into the sunset, I think that's bullshit. Because if you don't have nobody to replace him, how you just gonna write him off and just give him his last movie and be done with him? When everybody's asking for him specifically, and I'm talking about Wesley Snipes. So let's just go ahead and see what's being said about this here. It says, a Marvel Cinematic Universe reboot of the Blade property has been making its way through development hell for the last 5 years, which is true. And if and when the script for that project is ever figured out and the new Blade can go into production, Mahershala Ali will be taking over the title role. While we wait to see how that situation is going to turn out, original Blade actor Wesley Snipes returned to the role almost 20 years after the release of his last Blade movie, Blade Trinity, for an appearance in Deadpool and Wolverine, which is currently enjoying massive success at the box office. Yeah, which is true. It actually outdid The Joker as being the #1 R-rated movie of all times. So when you take that into account, and to know that Wesley Snipes' Blade was actually a part of that success, then how the hell can you take a 5-year project that's been in developmental hell with writer after writer, director after director, even the main actor Mahershala Ali basically going off on everybody, being pissed and upset that for some reason Marvel and the people that they have connected to this new Blade movie can't even get their shit together in order to get this thing off the ground. So yeah, there's a lot to be said with that. So to think that you can replace Wesley Snipes for some shit that for 5 years couldn't even get off the ground. You know, it took about 5 or 6 years to do all 3 Blade movies that Wesley Snipes did, let alone giving Disney the reins of this shit. And it's taken them over 5 years to even come up with a script and a director and all this other shit. So there's huge, massive problems with this all the way around. And, you know, we all know that. Deadpool and Wolverine star Ryan Reynolds has called for Marvel to give Snipes' Blade a Logan-like send-off movie. Like I said, I think it's a bad fucking idea. And someone who has a pitch for such a project is Beau DeMayo, who has worked with Marvel as writer and showrunner of the first season of the Disney Plus series X-Men 97. Yeah, and from what I've understood is X-Men 97 hasn't even hit the Nielsen's ratings, which means for however many people really do like X-Men 97 on Disney Plus, it doesn't even show up in the ratings to be considered anything serious for anybody to look at. So I know there's a lot of people out there that like it, but fuck it, man. Let the truth be told. What is X-Men 97 doing right now for Disney or Disney Plus and all that bullshit? It ain't doing shit. I'm not making this up. You can look it up. History has already said where X-Men 97 stands. And shit, there's nothing me or you or anybody else can do about it. So, it is what it is. In response to a report on Ryan's post saying Snipes Blade should get a send-off movie, DeMayo dropped his pitch on social media. Vampire dystopia, where they learned to daywalk and took over. Humans are cattle. Brother Voodoo, part of the human resistance, learns Blade was desiccated, entombed, and resurrects him so he can hunt Varney and the Darkhold cult to wipe out all vampires, treated like Kurosawa. Interesting. Not a bad idea, but considering where this idea is coming from, I mean, I wouldn't put my life on saying they wouldn't work with him again, but shit. Why would you go back and tread old water? The idea of a vampire apocalypse is something that David S. Goyer, who wrote the Snipes Blade trilogy, toyed with when he was working with those films, but he never brought it to the screen. That could be a great setup for a send-off movie, and it's fun that DeMayo would want to have the Brother Voodoo character in there too. Yeah, I guess, right? With Mahershala Ali Blade still in the works, chances of one last Wesley Snipes Blade movie actually getting made are probably slim to none, but it's something cool to think about. It's also unlikely that Beau DeMayo would get the job to write the Blade movie. If it were to happen, as Marvel chose to fire him from X-Men 97 after the first season, it was probably to distance themselves from him and his only page account and all that other shit that he was probably a part of, that they didn't want none of the smoke, they didn't want none of the fire behind it, they didn't want shit to do with it. So yeah, they distanced themselves, and it is what it is. It says, what do you think of Beau DeMayo's Blade pitch? Would you like to see Wesley Snipes' version of the character get a send-off movie? I would like Wesley Snipes' Blade to get another Blade movie, but not a send-off movie. Again, people want to see Blade. Why the fuck would you get the only person who people deem perfect and credible for the role? Why would you give him one last movie? And you saw the reaction that people had when they saw him in the Deadpool and Wolverine movie, and all you want to do is bring him back just so that you can give him his last movie and what, kill him off? Or let him ride into the sunset? Like I said, it'll be a waste to do Blade like that, especially when you still have Wesley Snipes here. And all you have to do with Wesley is get his ass into shape, fill him out some, so he can look somewhat similar to what he looked like back, 20, 25 years ago. Beef him up a little bit so he don't look so scrawny or whatever. Get his ass back in the gym. Get him yoked up the way Hugh Jackman did for Deadpool and Wolverine movie. And let Wesley Snipes do what he does best. I tell you what, I'll be the first one to say bring Wesley Snipes back to do another Blade, but all that send-off shit and giving him his own Logan-style movie, fuck that. Because you'll just be ruining that character if you bring him back for one movie just to see him either killed off or never made into another sequel after that movie. It would be just a waste of Wesley Snipes, knowing that he can do the role, knowing he can keep up with the action and everything else. Set him up for another trilogy. But killing him off or having him pass the mantle of Blade to somebody else, like another chick, or let's say if fucking Mahershala Ali shows up. Oh, you're gonna be the next Blade. Nah, fuck that shit. That's some dumbass shit. And fuck passing that shit down to a chick, to a daughter or whatever the fuck. That shit doesn't work either. It doesn't work in the comic books, and it definitely is not gonna work in a live action movie. So all that passing the mantle bullshit, you could throw that right out the window. But that's my take. That's how I feel. You guys, let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. And as always, It's your boy, 24/7 here with 24/7 Fusion Media, and I'm out. Peace.